We're sticking with the ugly hat until they lose. Mariners win 8-3. They take the second game of the 3-game series against the Rays, and they improve to 39-42 on the season. That's right. We are at the halfway point. 81 more. Let's talk about how it happened. Mariners get on the board with a Mike Ford single in the second inning to score Jared Kelnick to make it 1-0. JP Crawford homers to right center to give the Mariners a 2-0 lead. Rays tie the game in the sixth on a Jared Kelnick. Jared Kelnick does not play for the Rays. Can't you picture Jared Kelnick playing for the Rays? No, you can't. Luke Raley homers to right to score Yandy Diaz to tie the game at 2-2. But Jared Kelnick does single homer run in the bottom of the sixth to give the Mariners a 3-2 lead. It's all Mariners basically from that point on. Teoscar Hernandez hits a ground rule double that scores a couple of runs. Suarez hits a sacrifice fly that scores Ty France. Wander Franco does hit an infield single that scores Christian, not Unievsky, Betancourt. And then the Mariners get a couple on a Crawford single to right and a Julio Rodriguez single to left. Really good, solid win. Are there any real negatives to talk about here? Cal went through it. 0-for-5 with 4 strikeouts. Colton Wong struggled in his 2 at-bats with 2 strikeouts. That love affair quickly ended, didn't it, folks? Any other negatives? Justin Topal wasn't great, but he got hurt by his defense himself. But, hey, didn't really have to do with his pitching. And a nice job by Paul Sewald, too, who had kind of not looked great in these last few outings. It's nice. And I wasn't, super concerned. It's just, it's nice to see him pitch to the level that he's capable of. 1 2/3 innings, gets to save because he entered in the situation that he did with 3 strikeouts, just gives up that 1 hit. Pitching was really good today. Top of the lineup was outstanding tonight. JP Crawford reaches 4 times, homers, drives in a couple of runs. Julio gets 3 hits and drives in a run, picks up the stolen base. It's so funny. We're disappointed in Julio, and I think justifiably so. In terms of results, anyway, we're disappointed. And a 22-year-old who's on pace to hit 26 homers and steal 38 bases while playing as good a center field as anybody. Isn't that kind of crazy? But that just tells you how high our hopes are for this guy, right? We just want the absolute world for him, and he's capable of it. Jared Kelnick, a really nice game. Really nice game. I got some questions from Kelnick about whether or not he is really a long-term answer for the Mariners. I still think yes, absolutely. If he plays like he did in May and most of June, probably not. But I've seen enough flashes in 2021 and 2022. Now, it has to be more consistent, right? And he's certainly, at this point, as much as I love him, someone you can upgrade on. Like, Jared Kelnick could get you an awful lot of shiny things if you wanted it. Now, I wouldn't move him because the FOMO. Maybe if it was a Brian Reynolds type of situation that we talked about in the offseason before. Sure, maybe. But not now. Just really nice to see them play a complete game. It's been a while, it seems like. It really does seem like it's been a while. Even that win over Washington to open the homestand wasn't great. But this was good. George Kirby was great. Take away that homer, and, you can't do that. I've looked into it. But outside of that, he was as good as it gets. And they needed him to be. They need the starting pitching to... I know I say it every episode, but they rely on it so much. They can't afford the 5 1/3 3-run starts or the 6 innings of 4-run baseball from these guys. They have to be good. Now, tonight didn't have to be as good in results. It turned out because of the nice job that they did in the later innings of playing tack on. But for the most part, he left that game with a 3-2 lead. He left that game with a 3-2 lead. And it just shows you that this offense, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That this offense, while it had a nice little flourish at the end, isn't great, and they need their starting pitching to be great. And tonight, Kirby was. Tonight, Kirby was for sure. And when was the last time we could say that from a starter? Probably Kirby on Sunday, I think. I don't remember that start, to be honest with you. Gilbert was really good on Friday against the Orioles. I do remember that. But it's got to be better. And now the good thing is that you can take this series with a win tomorrow with your ace on the mound and Luis Castillo. And you're facing Taj Bradley, who is talented, can miss bats. And the Mariners, look, they struck out 11 times against Tyler Glasnow, who has got some pretty darn good stuff. But he can miss bats, but he's also been homer prone, and the results have been pretty mixed. This is a game that on paper, I think you say advantage Mariners, which is good. I can't believe we're at the halfway point of the season already. Already, it seems like if you asked me based on the number of videos we've recorded, I would say I can't believe it's only the halfway point. And at the same time, based on like just days, I can't believe it's already July. And I can't believe the Mariners have already played half of their baseball games. And I can't believe that even with this good win, they're only 39-42. It's pretty easy, folks. It puts them on pace to go 78-84. Calling 78-84 a disappointing season is the understatement of understatements. There's time to turn it around. There is time to turn it around. Mariners had either that record or a very similar record to where they were last year. But of course, that is buoyed by literally 2 weeks of not losing a baseball game. Actually became 3 because of the All-Star break. That was fun. Let's do that again. Yeah, we're halfway there. Bon Jovi song. Not a good song. Not a big Bon Jovi fan. It was great to see some results from Julio after he, let's just be honest, stunk on Saturday. Or, excuse me, Friday. He was terrible. But he sure wasn't tonight. Crawford, Rodriguez, Hernandez, Kelnick, all with multi-hit games. Homer and a double for Crawford, 2 doubles for Hernandez. Like, they drove the baseball today. 1, 3, 4, 5 extra base hits. That'll play. That will play for sure. It's crazy. Halfway. And you know what's funny is I was thinking about this right before I recorded. So I'll just be flat out honest. I kind of stole this. I think I've mentioned this actually before, but I kind of stole this format from a guy named Steve Dangle, who recaps Toronto Maple Leafs games. And it's funny that they do 82 games in a year. I'm one away from reaching what he does, and then I've got 80 more. 80 more. Now, his production's a lot better. His fan base is a lot larger, and deservedly so. But it's crazy that I've done 81 of these. I plan on doing a lot more. All of this year for sure, and I don't see any reason why we can't keep this going for a long time. Unless this baseball team murders me. That's the one thing I'll say, is that if this baseball team ends up murdering me, I have not figured out how to do these videos from the grave. Probably won't. It's going to be really difficult. There's a nice dark thing from a Seattle Mariner victory. I like this one. This was fun. Bring it back. Bring it back again Sunday. Play like this again on Sunday. Play better. Play better and give me some hope for a daunting road trip. to end the year of 7 games. Halfway there, baby. Halfway there. And yet, we're not halfway to anything because the season ends right now. Seattle Mariners are closer to being in the draft lottery. Well, they are. I mean, yeah. A lot of baseball left to be played. A lot of baseball has been played. Life. Follow me on Twitter at Crawford_MILB. Follow the RotoWire Fantasy Baseball podcast. Check out my imminent arrivals article every Wednesday on RotoWire. I'd really appreciate it. The Sports Sometimes podcast. We just had our 8th episode with my buddy / nemesis Grant Brisby. I thought that was a really cool episode. I liked it. I have a blast recording those. I'd really appreciate it if you checked it out. All you got to do is search Sports Sometimes, and you can find it anywhere podcasts are. It's fun. It is fun. And this was a good one. Let's do it again. Let's do it again tomorrow. And then let's do it again about 55 more times in the second half of the season.